Alright guys, so in this one we're going to get right into it. This is a Mini Cooper S. It's a 2005. The chassis code is called an R53 and the engine code is a W11. So one thing I want to point out, first thing on this engine, if you're going to be taking apart things like head gaskets and timing chains and things like that, you're going to have the special tools. So you need to hop on Amazon, or if you want to pay a bunch of extra money, you can get the OEM tool. But you need the cam lock to get this thing in perfect time. Some people might argue with that, but we like to be very precise about how we do things around here. And I believe that you need that cam lock. It costs $50. It's not that big of a deal. Just buy it. And then you have it forever, and then you can probably fix other people's vehicles if you want to. One thing about timing chain tools, though, is, when I first started really getting into this stuff, I thought that as I bought a special timing chain tool, I would have it and I would use it on other vehicles, but I have yet to have used a timing chain tool more than once. So you can imagine how many we have at this point. So the first thing that we're going to do is remove the valve cover. There's some other things that have to be done. You have to loosen the intake, you have to loosen the exhaust manifold. All of that is fairly straightforward on this vehicle. Something that I found that is not super clear in the service manuals for this vehicle, you do not have to put this vehicle in service mode, meaning you do not have to remove the radiator. You do not have to remove the front bumper, the headlights, or anything like that. So the reason that we're taking this vehicle apart on this vehicle, which is great, the exhaust valve on cylinder 2 is burnt. It has a big chunk out of it, and you will see that at the end of this video. You might be watching this video because yours looks the same way. I don't know why this has happened on this vehicle exactly. I think it is due to a faulty valve seat, but we will find out after the machine shop gets back with us. This vehicle only has 73,000 miles on it, and this is the second time that this has happened in 20,000 miles to the current owner that owns this vehicle. So either they are doing something wrong, meaning that they are putting the wrong type of fuel in it, causing a lean condition, causing the combustion chamber to get really hot, or there's a problem with a valve, or there's a problem with the valve seat. One of those three things, in my opinion, has to be the issue here. So a minute ago, you've seen us taking off the timing cover. To get the timing cover off, you have to pull the harmonic balancer puller. We removed the harmonic balancer pulley. Sorry, I misspoke there. And all the other accessories in the way of the timing cover, and then we were able to remove the timing cover. As you can see, we have removed the valve cover. After you remove the valve cover, you just go through loosening all the rocker arms. We like to loosen these kind of like a half turn at a time type of style. That way everything comes off nice and smooth and doesn't get bound up. We don't want anything to snap or get bound up and marred up. Anything like that. We're always going to try to avoid that at all costs, because this is not our car and we care about it. One thing that I like about this engine is that it is very easy to take apart, and as far as I can tell so far, I think it's going to be decently easy to put it back together as well. Time consuming, very time consuming, but easy. It's a single overhead cam engine, so that means there's only one cam. There are 4 valves per cylinder, 2 valves for the exhaust, 2 valves for the intake. There is not any variable valve timing. And between the special tool, the timing chain tool that I was talking about previously, between that and when you buy the new timing chain, it's going to have colored links on it. Between those two things, it is impossible to screw the timing up on this car. So what we're doing here, we're removing the cylinder head. We're going to take that cylinder head, one complete assembly, all the valves and valve springs, everything all together, and take that to a machine shop. The machine shop is then going to take all of the valves out and redo all of the valve seats. They're going to deck the surface of the head to make it flat and true again. And we will probably reuse all of the intake valves as long as they are all straight and good. But as far as the exhaust valves, we are going to be upgrading the exhaust valves to a much stronger valve. There are about 3 different options that I have researched so far. I do not know which one we are going to choose yet, but I do know that we are going to choose a stronger valve. That, in combination with freshly ground valve seats, should take care of our issue. Once we do that and get it all back together, we're going to do a lot of monitoring all of the live data with fuel trims and a lot of things like that. We're going to use our heat gun. We're going to make sure that our fuel is fueling the way it's supposed to, make sure that we don't have a faulty injector or anything like that. We're going to make sure that all of our compression is even amongst all cylinders. And we're probably going to check our fuel pressure as well. That way we can make sure 100% that this guy has no reason that on our end that this car is going to do this again anytime soon. So as long as the customer makes sure that he's running 93 octane and an occasional fuel injector cleaner and not beating the life out of this engine, it should last for a while. This thing only has 73,000 miles on it. That's crazy in my opinion to have a burnt exhaust valve 2 times and 73,000 miles. Technically 20,000 miles. The next thing that you're going to see us removing here is the camshaft. We will closely inspect the camshaft, and if you're removing the camshaft from your vehicle, you want to closely inspect your camshaft as well. And what you're going to be looking for is, shaved metal off the camshaft. If it looks rough in any area, like metal has been rubbing metal, that is a bad deal. And you want to check that out. And if you have any questions at all, have somebody else check it out that does know. Next up on our list is removing all of the head bolts. Again, we're going to be taking these head bolts out like a half turn at a time. We don't want anything to snap, and we kind of want to, how can I say this? We want to take this head off in the same order that it was put on, as good as we can. So it was torqued in a specific way, and we want to kind of reverse that as we're taking it off, and we want to just do a little bit at a time. That way nothing has too much stress on it. We're not putting too much stress on any of the bolts. We're not putting too much stress on any part of the cylinder head. What I'm using here is our 90 tooth Capri Tools long reach ratchet. I've been using these ratchets for about 2 years now, and I absolutely love them. The first Capri tool I ever bought was it was like a little small triple square set, because I didn't have triple squares and I started working on European cars. Capri Tools is awesome, and I love it. Their products are high quality, snap-on quality, and like a third of the price. So check that out while you're looking for tools the next time you look for tools. While we're taking the cylinder head bolts out, let's talk about the other things that are wrong with this car and a little bit of backstory of why the guy is wanting to fix this car. So the car does have low mileage. 70,000 miles is pretty low mileage in my opinion. I don't know about you guys. And I know you can't see the rest of the car here, but this is like a bright red convertible Mini Cooper. It is the supercharged model, so that's pretty cool. It's manual, so that's pretty cool. And the guy was telling me some stories about how when COVID was going on, they would just jump in the Mini Cooper and go drive around everywhere. And him and his family, I think he was saying something about having, I hate to be wrong here, but I think he said he had 2 kids, and they would just get out and go drive around in the Mini Cooper. So this thing definitely has sentimental value to the guy, and that's why he's wanting to fix it and have it fixed right. So when people come to us with that, it's very, very important to me and the guys that work for me for us to be able to fix something for somebody that means a lot to them. That makes us feel important. It makes us happy that they chose us to do that. So it makes us want to do a really good job for them. Aside from the issue with the valve, so the car was just misfiring on cylinder 2. Aside from that, we've got a couple other things we have to worry about. We have a CAN bus error somewhere in the K line, as far as my research tells me. Might be a wire issue. My scan tool is intermittently not connecting to the ECM, and also we have an ABS module issue that is referring to a CAN bus error. We will figure that out later after we get this engine work done and get it all dialed in. And aside from that, we have some definitely wore out brakes. We're going to remedy that with some brake pads, of course, some brake rotors, of course, and a brake pad wear sensor. While we're in there, we'll replace the brake hardware and the brake pad wear sensor, and then we'll reset everything like we always do and go from there. So as you can see, you see me tugging on things. That means it's time to pull this cylinder head. Again, I want to mention this. Notice that I did not remove this AC condenser or the radiator. As a mechanic, if you are a true mechanic, you know that the less stuff you can remove, the more time you're going to save, the more efficient you're going to be. Boom goes the dynamite. The cylinder head is finally off. Let's take a look at it and see what we can find. We'll pull these head bolts out, put them to the side for now, but ultimately they will get thrown away. Don't reuse head bolts, guys. It's never going to pay off. If you snap even one of them, you just costed yourself so much money and time, because time is valuable. That's all you've got. So we'll get this head off to the machine shop, replace the valves that need to be replaced just for safety, clean everything else up, all new valve seats, deck the head, and we will make another video when we put it all together and show you the video running. We hope you all have an excellent day. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate it. It helps us so much more than you know. We thank you guys for everything. God bless you.